Good morning. God bless you, class. How are you? Class, today is the first lesson of this week, and we will be learning more about adaptations. The life we know in detail with the examples, the animals we see, the plants we study, is only a very, very minor percentage of the existing living animals and plants on earth, because the water is covering 71% of the earth's surface, and almost all of it, almost 97% of this water is the salt water. Means the 97% is the ocean water, and on the other hand 70% of the land is covered by ocean. So we will be fascinating with this fact that the real diversity of animals and plants is found in oceans, underwater. So we see how animals survive in so much salty water. This is called as aquatic adaptations, because the animals or the plants living in water are called as aquatic animals and plants. So, aquatic adaptations are those changes or adjustments in the behavior or maybe the structure of any organism which enable them to survive in the aquatic environment. For example, we'll be seeing that streamlined body shapes or the longitudinal body shapes help to minimize water resistance, and therefore the fish can easily swim and move in water. Adaptations for water are maybe the gills that allow them to breathe oxygen in water, and they have a longitudinal streamlined body, and they have fins for swimming, and they have a special system of muscles for the movement underwater, and they also have the swim bladder. In different conditions, the breathing is made possible, and this is what the aquatic or marine animals are well adapted for breathing underwater, because like us, those animals also need oxygen to survive for breathing, and they have to breathe in the oxygen that is dissolved in water from the air above the water, using these structural adaptations. So what are those structures which help them to get oxygen dissolved from water or maybe above the water? Like, these are gills, and sometimes gill chambers are there. Maybe they use their skin to absorb oxygen. They have special air tubes through which they take oxygen, or air bubbles, or they can have special nostrils and the blowholes. So what are these structures? We will be looking them one by one. Gills. Animals that breathe in water, they use dissolved oxygen through their gills. You know how it happens. The gills are just the lungs type structures which are efficient in absorbing dissolved oxygen. When oxygen rich water passes over the gills, the dissolved oxygen is absorbed and carbon dioxide is given out. The same work is done as the lungs are absorbing oxygen and dropping out carbon dioxide through their hemoglobin in the blood. The gills are doing it by themselves. The next, the streamlined body shape. The streamlined body shape means which is narrow at both ends and broad in the middle, like this. It's narrow in the corners and it's relatively broad enough in the middle of the body. So this shape enables the animals to swim faster, like normally fishes having streamlined bodies like penguins, like dolphins, like guppy, tuna, barracuda, and shark even. And these animals need to swim to catch their prey, to swim away from the predators to avoid being eaten. They normally escape from the danger by moving faster. Now, blowholes have a special nostrils on the top of the animal's head. Like you see, there is a blowhole mentioned in the dolphin, and here the whale is also having this special nostril. The blowhole enable them to breathe even most of the body is underwater. Only with the blowhole above the water surface means they come up on the surface, they take in oxygen and they dive again in the water and they eject out the water sometimes. Look, what's this whale doing? It's blowing out the water after absorbing oxygen. And sometimes we see aquatic animals have special nostrils. So they push their nostrils above the water surface to get oxygen. And when animals underwater, they shut their nostrils to keep water out. Larvas and mosquito pupas and some water scorpions have this long breathing tube through which the air can go in. And this tube extends from their body and stick out above water the surface to get the oxygen air directly from air, not the dissolved one. And there are some other structural features which help turtles and seals to move in water. These are flippers. Look at them. A turtle is almost flying in the water using its flipper. This seal also has flippers to move in water and on the land also. Now today's task is study the label part of the whale below and how do these adaptations help the whale to survive in water. You have to talk about the blowhole, you have to talk about the grooves and the fins and the flukes on the tail. Thank you, class. God bless you. See you tomorrow.